we go. Easy as pie. All right, today we're reviewing the Avant Nano 2-inch quadcopter. All right, so let's see what we get in the box. So open it up. Here's the quad. I noticed it has the steel strap band on this, and this is a pretty nice strap here. It's not one of those chintzy little fold over ones. It actually goes through a loop and comes back, and this loop is a steel loop as well, so that's really nice. Has a battery pad on the bottom, which is also a really nice feature. We got some additional standoffs, so you can see there's 3 standoffs total on this. 1 in the back, 2 up front, and then we have 4 standoffs in there, so we have some additional standoffs. We have an additional battery strap, great. Some props. These are the GemFan 2023s. You can see that. Also get another set of GemFan 2023s and a third set of GemFan 2023s. So that is it. Standoffs, battery strap, 3 sets of props in this nice little bag, and that's what you get in the box. So taking a closer look at the quad, what we have here is a 3-board stack. We have the ESC on the bottom, flight controller, and then the VTX on top. This has a Rubicon 16-volt capacitor on the back. It's a 3mm thick base plate on the bottom. It's a full base plate, so the arms aren't separate or anything, but that's pretty standard on these little 2.5-inch quads. So these are Van branded, but they're actually Brother Hobby rebranded motors. So you can see they're 1103, 7,650 kV. So it's perfect for 3S. Meaning on 3S, these things are going to rock. On 2S, this will fly great as well. 3S is going to be really fast, so we'll run it on 3S and see how she goes. The VTX goes from 25 to 200 milliwatt, and the protocol is the IRC Tramp, which I really like. It's a lot simpler than the Smart Audio one. There's only one VTX table to import. I'm sure it's already set up on here. Piece of cake. The ESC is rated for 2 to 4S, and this is an F4 flight control board. Camera up front is a run cam. You can kind of see it right in here, so you can see that. So we'll take a look at that DVR, obviously. So let's of course get it on the scales. You can see here just the quad itself. It's around 50 grams, but we're going to also be 48 grams to be exactly, but we're also going to be putting on a 525 milliwatt battery, 3S. So that's going to take us up to about 90 grams. So the first step is let's plug it into Betaflight and see how everything's working out with our transmitter and everything. So I'm going to go ahead, plug it in and connect. So I can go down to the receivers tab here, and I have it all bound up, and I can make sure my bound goes from 1000 to 2000. So I want to make sure all my axes here go from 1000 to 2000. You can see it comes pre-configured. Avant took some time to get this all set up, and they did a lot of things that I like to see, like dead bands of 5 across here. They already have the RSSI set to aux 12, which you can see down here is on. So if I turn off my transmitter, you'll see that that will jump down to nothing, which would obviously transmit through on aux 12 to the OSD. So that's kind of nice. They have that set. Our motors are set to beep if they are on D-Shot, which they are, D-Shot 600, so they will beep when we switch into beeper mode, so that is nice. And we can also switch this, and I'll toggle this on to RX loss. So if I would lose RX signal, the motors would start to beep if it crashes, and obviously the battery still have to be plugged in. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that on as well. Going to the PIDs tab here, Avant does have a custom tune on this, so we'll see how she goes. It looks pretty good to me. I mean, for this size quad, yeah, those would look about right. You can see the set point and some of the things. Just know what I know about Betaflight. That seems reasonable. It seems like it will perform well. We will see. In the filters tab here, you can see they turned off some of the filters, so this seems pretty reasonable. PT1, PT1. You got the dual dynamic notches down here. That's all set up. These are not just default, so they've customized this, and based on my knowledge of Betaflight, they're doing a pretty good job. It seems pretty reasonable to get this quad into a performance right out of the gate. We'll see how it flies. We're going to do some logging on it. You can see up here, it's about 8 megs of flash on this flight control board, which is awesome for such a small quad. You don't always see the onboard flash. Sliding into the VTX table, this is all set up, but I want to be on race band is what I normally fly. Channel 1 is what my Fast Shark goggles are set to. And interestingly here, this doesn't have the different power bands in here. So what you can do here is actually, there's only 2 power modes on this thing. So what we can do is set this to 200, 200, and then we can come into here and reduce the number of power levels to what it actually has, which is 25 and 200 milliwatts. Of course, I'm going to go with 200 milliwatts so I can get my full range. So I'll go ahead and hit that set. So race band, channel 1, 200 milliwatts, good to go. So as soon as I go out, plug in, arm, it will go ahead and switch to the appropriate power band and channel for me automatically. All right, so now let's give this guy a little test out. And this is kind of the perfect environment for these little guys. They fly like a 5-inch, but I'm around a community building here behind my house, and you can see there's plenty of trees and foliage. There's a community garden right over here with people in it. I would never fly my 5-inch here. Obviously, I'd be worried about hitting the building, and obviously just the noise. This thing you can hardly hear. It doesn't bother anybody, even if somebody would come over. It's so small and unintimidating that it just makes flying a lot more pleasurable, in my opinion. But let's check out the flight performance and see how she does.
Engines armed.
So nice and smooth. Let's give her a nice little punch out here and see how she does. Pretty good. Apologize for the road noise, but unfortunately there's a highway here. So yeah, she's doing pretty good. Punch outs are pretty stable. Maybe a little shimmy. I got a little bit of wash. Nothing too bad. A little bit of nose throttle. Maybe we could adjust some gains on that. You can see that when I'm punching the throttle there. So let's check out antenna range. You can see I'm on the other side of this building underneath the awning, and I am facing the wrong direction. I'm actually to the left right there, facing away, so my patch isn't helping me out there at all. But I didn't lose connectivity, and I could see me right there. So she's doing good. There's nothing inherently wrong with this. Whoop. A little bit of breeze there blowing me sideways. The other micros I've flown like this, they always have some oscillations. It's mostly the props that are the problem. This one, she does pretty good. Ah! The other beauty of these suckers, you can see she's no worse for the wear. Maybe just a prop rebalance there. Just bend them back, make sure they're all pushed on nice. They're all on nice and tight yet, so motors are fine. It's pretty warm out today, about 80-some degrees. So let's take it back up.
Engines armed.
Of course, my goggles have to be getting dead. Those power lines are there. I'm waiting until I hit one of those and go down the street, and that'll be the end of this thing. So yeah, buddy, it's fun. And this, again, I would never take the 5-inch here. Ah. Yeah, that's all right. Going on 3 minutes flight time. That's pretty good. It's respectable. I gotta shoot back farther for that. There we go. Easy as pie. All right, so around almost 4 minutes so far, and I had that crash in there, so obviously that took the battery down. See, I'm pretty low here next to the building, facing the wrong way. That gives you an idea of reception for the transmitter and the VTX, which I'm pretty happy with. All right, so let's bring her in. Nope, not over there. I'm over here. About a 4 minute flight time with a crash, not too bad. All right, so that is it for the Avant Nano. Check it out. I do have down below a UAVTECH code. Put that in the message box if you do get it from Avant. Supposedly they're going to give you a little gift or whatnot if you use that. Ultimately, I'm pleased with this thing. No oscillations with this little 2-inch props, and that's usually something I'll see on these little guys. Flew good, long flight times, durable, crash test, no major issues. So yeah, check it out. Thanks everybody, and I hope this helped.